Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Futlife Tv Podcast. We got a lot to cover today with all of Chelsea's struggles and Man United's struggles and Liverpool's glory and a lot more. Let's get right into it. Oh, and Barcelona's struggles.
Oh, man.
But with the Premier League starting, of course, we had over the weekend Tottenham beating Arsenal 1-0, Everton beating Crystal Palace 3-1, Stoke City tying Brighton 1-1, Swansea beating Burnley 1-0, West Ham beating Watford 2-0, Manchester City beating Leicester City 5-1, Huddersfield beating Bournemouth 4-1, Newcastle beating Manchester United 1-0, and Liverpool beating Southampton 2-0. The Liverpool one stings, huh? They buy their players and then they beat them?
Right. Exactly.
And table, we have Man City in first place with 72, Manchester United in second with 56, Liverpool in third with 54, Tottenham in fourth with 52, and Chelsea in fifth with 50. All right.
Chelsea. What's going on with you guys, man?
2 games in a row, getting absolutely hammered. Absolutely hammered.
One at home and one in away. That's unacceptable.
So what do you think about Conte? You think he's going to stick around?
No.
He doesn't have any ambition anymore. He has no... Seems like he's not into it anymore. He doesn't feel like being...
That energy, that fire that he had last season.
It's gone.
Not there.
It's gone.
It's not there.
Do you remember when they were winning, he'll be excited, happy, going crazy.
Goodness.
When they were losing, he'll be pissed, upset.
Right.
And you can see it. Now he just kind of sits there and just like...
And watches the game as if they're winning.
Yeah, when they get scored on, he just kind of looks down. Just kind of sits there like this. That shows you he has no interest in that job anymore. He doesn't want to be there.
He needed
Excuse
to
me.
go a long time ago.
He should have. I think he probably should have gone once they start hitting that bad form, because it just seems like once the Italy job offers and stuff and all that stuff
Start stirring in their head.
exactly all the news about him wanting to go to Italy started coming up. It just seems like he just wasn't in it anymore.
Yeah.
You think he really wants that Italy job? You think that's the problem?
I think so.
You think that's going to be his next destination after this? But the thing is, Italy doesn't have to rush anything with him because they're not in the World Cup.
Right.
So this summer, they're really not doing anything at all. So they really don't need a coach yet. I think they're willing to wait for Conte to finish out his season and then swoop him up. What do you think?
If he can make it that long.
If he can make it that long.
Honestly, because they got a couple big games coming up. If you think about it, they play West Brom tomorrow.
Yep.
After that, who do they have? Hull City.
I mean, there's no telling with them because, I mean, they did lose to Watford, who are not really up there anyway. And Bournemouth. I mean, 10th and 11th place, and both just blew them out of the park, you know? So that's kind of, you can never tell right now what's going to happen. And let's not forget, a week after they have a game against Barcelona.
Exactly.
So that's a whole different thing. We're going to get into the Champions League part. But Conte struggles. I don't think he'll stick around next season, especially if they keep this up. I don't think he'll make it this season if he keeps this up. Who do you think will be able to replace him? Who do you think they're looking at already to replace him? There are rumors of the old Dortmund coach, Tuchel, being one of the people to replace him. And of course, there's Carlo Ancelotti, who's pretty respected there as well.
Didn't I hear something about Luis Enrique?
Luis Enrique as well, exactly. Luis Enrique is another one who is probably a front runner, actually.
Yeah.
It's probably most likely going to be him if they do get rid of Conte. But with do you think Luis Enrique will be able to help the squad? Who I think they might lose some key. Do you think they're going to lose key players? Because I think they're going to lose key players. And if they lose players like Hazard, this is going to be big trouble for him. It's going to be tough to bring someone in to fill those shoes.
It will, but Luis Enrique is known for adapting. He came into Barcelona, didn't he win the treble his first season?
With remember who he had on the squad? Xavi, Iniesta, Neymar up front, Messi, Suarez.
But still, he won the treble.
Busquets. I mean, that team, I think a trained monkey could be able to win the treble with that team. That team, you have to admit, in the form, if they were in good form.
Luis Enrique a trained monkey?
No.
Okay.
But I think a monkey could do his job. You know what I mean? Winning a treble with that type of team. That team, when you have a team that strong and if they're in good form and full of confidence, who can stop them? You know what I mean? You have Xavi, Busquets, and Iniesta in the midfield, right? Right in front of them, you have Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, right? Mm-hmm. Best front three, arguably ever. Am I wrong?
No.
And then right behind those, you have those center defenders called PK and Mascherano, who were in the form of their life probably in that year. Am I wrong?
No.
Then you have the speedy Jordi Alba and probably one of the best right backs ever, Dani Alves.
Best team in the world. And
you had a beautiful, beautiful Chilean goalkeeper who was in the form of his life. Bravo.
Yeah, true story.
And your backup was Ter Stegen, who look at him now. Knock on wood. But, the thing is, with that team, it's really hard to lose, Yeah. It really takes someone that absolutely doesn't know anything about football that will destroy the whole system to lose with a team like that, in my opinion, But, I don't know. He did do well. I guess we do got to give some kind of credit to the coach, Maybe the system he had going, the rotations he was doing, that's what helped out and worked out. But in the end, I mean, he probably would be a good fit for Chelsea. There are really no other options for Chelsea.
There really isn't. And I see him going to Chelsea being a good fit, like you just said. He's a good adapter. He'll get in there. If they sell Hazard, he'll still get in there and work with what he has. And he'll win some trophies for sure.
I mean, the thing is with Hazard, too, if he does leave, it's not going to be 50, 40 million. It's going to be around 100 million.
Oh, way past.
And you'll be able to bring in some good players. And, I mean, if you do have a name like, now, Luis Enrique, you will attract some players. They're like, oh, well, this guy was, he's a coach at Barcelona, won a treble,
Mm-hmm.
Won the double the year after. And they won 3-2-1, didn't they? Is that what happened? But anyways, yeah, I think he will do okay there, but I don't know. I mean, if Conte leaves, it'll be tough because I think an excited Conte, who's really excited about his job, can really uplift this Chelsea team again.
Oh, for
can
sure.
really bring in the key players. He's always complained about not having the players he wants,
mm-hmm.
and I think he's kind of taking a stance by not playing Giroud as much too, because I don't think he was a player that he wanted. So I don't know. But Chelsea are in some trouble at the moment. They really need to turn things around, and they're playing West Brom, who really need to get this win, So it's going to be a tough team. We're going to see a struggling Chelsea against a hungry West Brom, who now have Sturridge as well to help out up there.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. That'll be an exciting match to watch.
Hopefully he doesn't get injured.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised he hasn't already.
Exactly.
Anyway, more talk. Over the weekend, Tottenham have beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
Usually it's Arsenal that are above Tottenham in the table and are usually getting the win, and they even have a chant, a song. It's happened again. It's happened again.
Yeah.
Lately, in the past few years, Tottenham have been the king of North London, it seems like. They have been they've been the new Arsenal. Well, not the new Arsenal, because Arsenal have won trophies, but the new late Arsenal. You know what I mean? Like the Arsenal in the past few years. A new generation of Arsenal. And, I mean, who knows? Next year they might win some trophies. I doubt it, but who knows? But it seems like for the past 4 or 5 years, Arsenal have been being in the top
like
4.
Tottenham stole their style.
Yeah, their goal have been to finish above Tottenham. But for the past 2 years, this year, Tottenham are the ones finishing up top. And they're getting the last laugh on the games as well.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. It's and Arsenal does have new players that they brought in, Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang. So, you would think and he's already getting compared, Aubameyang's already getting compared to Thierry Henry and all this nonsense. It's like, wait a minute. Just relax for a minute.
Calm down.
He did have a nice goal in his debut. Let's not forget he was offsides.
Right.
and he did miss some good chances. And obviously, I mean, against Tottenham, Arsenal did struggle. I mean, Tottenham have been looking great, even against the Man U during the week. Or they played brilliant against Liverpool. I'm sorry. They're fortunate to get the draw, but they did play a great game. They were really pushing and attacking the whole game. And the thing is, I'm sorry, with Arsenal, it seems like they weren't too worried about Harry Kane. That's not a person you let him be free like that. It seems like Harry Kane was free a lot to do what he wanted. I mean, even in the header,
Yeah, that's
defender was lost.
That's definitely a player at this time that you do not want to leave alone anywhere on the field.
No, you have to make him uncomfortable. You got to make him feel uncomfortable. You
At
have
all
to make him
times.
feel like you're there at all times. You have to make him feel uncomfortable. Get in his head a little bit. Maybe even drew little fouls here and there just to
all
show
the
him, hey, I'm right here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm not going
And
anywhere.
I didn't sense that in this game. I did not sense that in this game. And eventually he broke through and scored. You
Right
know?
after halftime, and,
Yeah.
and that's what happens.
But a defensive mistake, too. I mean, the defender was clueless. And the thing is, I've said it many times, Arsenal do need defenders. They need defenders.
Mm-hmm.
And people argue with me saying, no, they have good defenders. No, they don't. They do not have good defenders.
Mm-hmm.
They might have one defender that's good, that performs well at times, but he can mess up and they're all gone.
Arsenal just needs to do one thing, and that's get rid of Arsene Wenger.
They do. They need to get rid of Wenger. I mean, even with these players coming in, they need to pick up some defenders. I need to get rid of Wenger. Bring in a new energy. Bring in someone that can bring something new to this club.
Yeah.
I mean, Wenger has been there for long enough, I believe, and for any manager to be there that long and not win shit, I mean, it doesn't really make sense, for the club to keep him.
Right.
But I don't know. I honestly think Wenger is part owner of the club. That's what I've always thought. So I might be right. Who knows? I wouldn't doubt it. But the thing is, their defense is not that great. I mean, your best defenders are what, Mertesacker and Kosny? Really? I mean, you're depending on those two. You have Monreal, which still suspect as well. The whole defense is suspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not a good defense. They don't have a good back line. And that cost them in games, especially like this. I mean, it was a defensive mistake. They should have put more pressure on Kane, especially when you see he's on the form of he's scoring left and right. You have to stop a player like that. You have to double up on those players. You can't let a big man like Kane be in the box so free to be able to hit headers. And guess what? There's no defenders even to put an arm on him or slow him down or anything. You know what I mean?
He
Doesn't
was
make sense.
super comfortable. That's exactly how he got away with it.
Does not make sense. I think Arsenal do need some defensive help. I think they just need to fit midfield. Their midfield, I think they have a great midfield. They're just not fit. They're always injured, and they're just not fit to play. I think Jack Wilshere is one of the best midfielders in the world. I really do. I honestly do. I really think a fit Jack Wilshere can play in any team in the world.
Oh yeah.
And in his early 20s still. Let's not forget, he's still young. But when he's fit and he's playing, he's one of the best players on the field if he's not the best player,
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, defense, they need help. Now they have help in attack. They have Lacazette up there. They have Mkhitaryan up there. They have Aubameyang up there. They can build a good attack up there. And if their midfields are fit, they can do decent. But their defense, they really need a center back. They need a solid center back that takes charge, takes control, and is strong. That's what they need. That's what they're missing. And until they see that, I don't see anything changing
Maybe
with
like a
Arsenal.
Ramos or PK.
With the attitude.
Right.
Ramos' attitude. I think Ramos is kind of getting towards the end of his career. He's making some
He's
silly
not going
mistakes. Against the Levante game, I think he made some silly mistakes. We'll get into that in the La Liga talk. But they do need someone like that, strong-minded like that, tough, to get in there, start some stuff, stir them
Thiago
some
Silva
things.
style.
Yeah, take charge of the field. This
Right,
is my box.
Exactly.
That's
Right. You're not
what
getting
they
past
need.
me.
That's what they need, and that's what they're lacking. And until they get that, I don't see their problems changing. So we'll see what happens with Arsenal. Summer, they're talking about getting defensive help and all these new players, so we'll see what they do. But I don't see anything changing. And I mean, unless they bring in defensive help, and they can manage to keep their their midfield fit, But anyways, before we were interrupted, we're talking about the Arsenal problems, but the defensive problems. And anyways, but like I said, if they're not going to change the thing, they're not going to bring in the key defenders and change the coach. I don't see Arsenal winning the Premier League or the Champions League, which are the two key things.
Yeah, no, they're not going to win.
Yep. All right, moving on to Liverpool. Let's talk about Liverpool. Last week, I sincerely believe they were robbed against Tottenham.
Very. There's numerous videos out with caption of what the referees were talking about. The sideline referee and the main referee.
Did you see the sideline referee celebrate? Celebrate when the referee called the penalty?
No, I did not.
Oh, well, yeah, he celebrated. He, when the center referee came to talk to the linesman, he asked them what happened. They spoke about it. They agreed that it was a penalty. He told them, hey, he kicked him. Well, the linesman told him, hey, he kicked him as a penalty. Called a penalty.
No, he said, I think he had said if, refresh my memory. What was the name of the defender?
Van Dijk. It was Van Dijk kicking Lamela. But the thing is, Van Dijk tried to kick the ball, get the ball out of it. And get the ball out of there.
They were trying to say if it was an offside position, right? He said if Lamela got the ball, then it's an offside.
It was offsides. Both of them were offsides, actually.
And if it was offsides, then it's not a penalty.
Yes.
And he's like, well, what do you need to know? And he was like, I need to know if Lamela hit the ball. And he was like, well, I'm calling the penalty. That's what happened.
Yeah. Look at this. Take a look at this. He calls a penalty. Oh, that's the wrong video. But anyways, okay, this is what happened. First of all, the center referee, the main referee, lets the play go on.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing called. The linesman calls a penalty. The center referee stops, goes to the linesman. Says, where's the penalty? He told him, But the thing is, the argument there was that the play was offside initially anyway.
Right.
So it didn't matter anyway. But the thing is, the contact. Did you see the contact that was made on Lamela? It was the biggest bullshit. Van Dijk pulled out. That's a soft penalty to give. Lamela went down like Van Dijk just fully blasted his legs out of him.
He didn't even touch him.
It was embarrassing. It really was bad. But the thing that really made it bad was the linesman celebrating. Calls it.
Right there, he's asking him.
Watch this. As soon as he blew his whistle for the penalty, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's what a lot of people are watching and asking, what was going on there? Look at that. Calls the penalty. There's a little fist celebration. That's what the argument is here. What? Do you think it was a penalty? Because people are 50-50 on this. Some people are saying it's a penalty because there was contact made and he hit him. Watch the video. Van Dijk, as soon as he knows him there, he stops. And Lamela just sells it. And I don't know what it was with that linesman, who had a horrible game, by the way. The linesman had a shit game all game. The first goal, Harry Kane was the first penalty, Harry Kane was clearly offsides.
Way off.
It was not even an argument. It's not even a question. And the thing is, for a linesman I honestly, maybe the linesman had a bet for him to draw. But the thing is, a linesman should never decide a match like this. This match was decided by a linesman. Liverpool were robbed by a linesman. You can say what you want. We have our opinions. I saw what I saw. And for what I saw, Liverpool were clearly robbed.
Mm-hmm.
Both penalties were clear bullshit. They were.
They really were.
That's my opinion. I think that linesman should get looked at. and maybe investigate it, because that doesn't make any sense. And the fact that he celebrates, people are saying, well, he celebrated because he got a right decision. Do you always celebrate when you do the right thing at work, what you're supposed to do? You go to work every day like, oh, well, I fucking, I flipped this burger the right way. This is your job. You're doing your job. You don't celebrate when you do your job right, especially when it's a questionable call like that.
Exactly.
It was horrible. I was really disgusted. But the thing was, Liverpool they were robbed, but Tottenham played a very good game. Let's not take Tottenham's game away from them. But we're talking about Liverpool. They were robbed last game, but this game, they turned things around.
Yes, they did. They
played Southampton, who the fans kept booing them, especially Van Dijk, because of the big move that he made from Southampton. And Liverpool are known to always buy Southampton players for some reason.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Maybe they have a deal going on.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have first rights to all your top players.
Right.
But Southampton is struggling at the moment, and losing arguably their best defender did not help. And to add damage, they beat them. They beat the crap out of them in their own home. And Van Dijk, his return there was not pretty friendly. The fans kept booing him, but that's expected.
Very.
So.
Very.
But Liverpool, I mean, they're very inconsistent. So I don't know. I still don't think their defense is that great. Even with Van Dijk being there, the defense doesn't look that great. The forwards look fantastic. Salah is in the form of his life. He's got 29 goals in all competition, and there's still a ways to go. There's still a lot of games to go. I mean, if he keeps this up, he's going to reach over 50 goals in all competition. He can.
Some big teams are going to come after him.
They are going to come after him. And with his current contract, I mean, I would try to give him a new contract, improved contract, with either a ridiculous release clause like 300 million or such, or no release clause, just straight up to the team.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, right now, some big teams are in need of some strikers.
Oh yeah,
big time. Real Madrid being one of them, and there are a lot of rumors that they're already watching Salah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're waiting for consistency. If he can finish out the year like this, you're gonna get some bids from them. You're gonna get some bids from big clubs trying to snap him up.
Isn't Egypt in the World Cup?
They are.
Oh, there you go. Imagine him in the World Cup lighting it up.
That's another thing too. Like, that's why I think they need to give him an improved contract. They need to give him a contract, give him more money, but give him that huge release clause, because he's not that old.
No, he's not.
So you still have some years in this guy. He's fast. He's got skills. The second goal against Tottenham, individual goal. He got the ball, took on the whole defense and scored it himself. Beautiful goal.
Messi-like.
Yeah, I mean, you could say a Messi-like goal. And the thing is, if he can keep this form up, he's very promising, and there'll be big teams coming after him. Give this man a new contract. You have to. You have to tie Salah down now.
Yeah, he'll be 26 this summer.
Yeah, still young, many years to come for him. Like I said, you got to tie this guy down. But yeah, Liverpool very inconsistent. They do need help in defense. That's one of the key things that they're missing. And their midfields, I'm really not convinced about Henderson. I'm not convinced about Lallana. I'm just not. With them losing Coutinho, I think it was a big, big miss for them.
Mm-hmm.
He was a creator. He was their brain to get things going. And I mean, he scored tons of goals too for them. But the thing is, I think they need better midfield as well. They do need another defender, a tough defender to help Van Dijk. With Van Dijk with another good defender, we'll do great back there.
Right.
And then you bring in another midfield to replace Coutinho. You bring in a player that likes to attack, that's skillful, that can do a Coutinho thing, that can feed Salah, Mane, Firmino the ball.
Right.
Because you have 3 stars up there. You have 3 players. You can put all 3 of them up there, Firmino, Salah, and Mane, and you can have tons of goals.
You gotta know how to use them.
You gotta know how to use them, and you gotta feed them the right ball. But that's what I think about. That's what we think about Liverpool. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, anyways, more in the Premier League. Manchester United's problems. Manchester United is another team that's very inconsistent. But lucky for them, everyone else behind Manchester City is very inconsistent too. So the table is not that bad. Like Chelsea, as horrible as they've done recently, they're still in 5th place.
Right.
You know? They still can get right back into that 4th spot. So it's like the rest of the teams behind, not named Man City, are very inconsistent right now. But Manchester United, I mean, with the players you have, and now you have Sanchez. Sanchez, I mean, one of the best players in the world, you know? And you lose to Newcastle 1-0.
It's embarrassing.
Does that make any sense?
No.
That makes no sense.
At all.
You have players like Martial, Lukaku, Sanchez up there. You have midfielders such as Pogba, Mata. You have players, man. You know, the only place they're missing players is defense as well. Mm-hmm. Their defense is shit. I don't think their defense is convincing. I think they in desperate need of defenders as well. But who isn't? Everyone is. You know? Everyone right now is in search of good defenders. But that's their key problem, I think. And Mourinho's style is just doesn't let those players up there be free, in my opinion. You have 3 players, forwards, that are just fantastic attackers. You're not using them right. How are you not getting goals? How are you going to lose to Newcastle having Lukaku, Sanchez, and Martial playing up there?
You better start switching something up before you get sacked.
That doesn't make any sense. And he keeps complaining about spending money. Look at everyone else. They don't spend. Some of these guys don't even spend the third of money these big clubs spend. And he's constantly complaining about spending money. Jose Mourinho spent what? $300 million already? Over $300 million already?
Yeah.
So what money are you talking about? I don't know. Very inconsistent, I think. But lost again to Newcastle, so that's not going to be good for them. So we'll see what happens. Champions League is coming up this week. They really need to get it together there. That's pretty much it in there, huh?
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
No, I think that's it going on in the Premier.
Yeah, we will see what happens. Man City, of course, destroying Aguero, scoring 4 goals, winning 5-1. It's nothing for them. Simple, very simple. La Liga, we had over the weekend. Oh, that's not La Liga. We had Athletic Club tying Las Palmas 0-0. Villarreal, Alaves beating Villarreal 2-1. Atletico Madrid beating Malaga 1-0. Eibar beating Leganes 1-0. Real Madrid beating Real Sociedad 5-2. Sevilla beating Girona 1-0. Barcelona tying Getafe 0-0. Celta Vigo tying Espanyol 2-2. Valencia beating Levante 3-1. Table we have Barcelona in first place with 59. Atletico in second with 52. Valencia in third with 43. Real in fourth with 42. Villarreal in fifth with 37. Barcelona. What's going on with Barcelona and La Liga in the past few games? Been pretty inconsistent.
It's trying to fit in Coutinho.
Yeah, and missing Dembele.
And not necessarily missing Dembele. They just got Coutinho. He just got fit, and they're forcing him into the team.
Yeah, true.
They need time to mesh. Yeah, there's those players that just pick it up and they pick it up and they go running with it.
Yep.
But there's some that need that time to connect with the players.
Especially with that much pressure. I mean, there's a huge price tag on
He's
him,
young, huge
bunch of pressure.
Expectation.
Yeah, and like all this controversy about his move, all this people talking negative about his move, the price tag alone is something to put a pressure on you.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I can see him. I mean, he's starting to fit in. I mean, he's played well. He's already scored his first goal, assist from Suarez, which in Liverpool, when they were playing for Liverpool, his first goal came from an assist from Suarez.
Right.
So history repeats itself.
Another thing I noticed though is that I haven't seen him play in the same position since he's been playing. It's always a different position.
That's true.
So they haven't found the right. See, that's another thing you gotta pay attention to. They haven't figured out where they want to put him.
Well, the thing is,
or how to use him.
I think they have the midfields are pretty stacked at the moment. You have Iniesta, Busquets, and Rakitic.
That's what I'm saying.
Who are your normal starting. Exactly. And it's like, well, we want to bring him in, but we don't want to seem like we're replacing Iniesta, you know? We also don't want to upset Rakitic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. And, I mean, even with the game today, I think the reason they win with Rakitic instead of Coutinho was because they didn't, or I'm sorry, they went instead of Iniesta, was because they had only one center back. And Rakitic can help out more with Busquets in the back, you know? And Coutinho and Iniesta are both more attack-minded. So I think that's the reason why Iniesta didn't get the start. But I really like to see Iniesta and Coutinho with Busquets in the center.
Yes.
You know? I really want to see those two magicians just feeding the ball to the players up there.
That's what I want to see.
I mean, hopefully when they're fit, you have Umtiti, Piqué, Jordi Alba. You have your either Alex Vidal or Sergio Roberto. I mean, we'll figure it out when we get a solid right back. I mean, you have Semedo too, who is pretty good as well, but defensively is not as great as you want him to be.
He's more of a midfielder to me.
Yeah, but if you have the whole fit team, I think Iniesta, a fit defense, I think Iniesta and Coutinho can do magic up there together.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really hard to play them when you don't have fit defenders. Umtiti being suspended, PK, you don't want to risk him because of his knee problems. It's tough. So they do have some things to deal with back there. I mean, today, Yerry Mina made his debut. He was the only center back on the field for Barcelona.
Yeah.
You know?
Lucas Digne was positioned as a center back, but he's not a true center back.
And man of the match. He was the man of the match. You have to give this young man credit. He's young.
First Colombian to play for Barcelona.
Exactly. And I mean, he's pretty quick for being that damn tall. He's like 6'5", you know?
Yeah, that guy is massive.
So, I mean, he can do well. And he had a couple of headers on goal as well, chances on goal as well. I think he played great for his debut, especially being the only center back. I mean, that's a lot of pressure in your debut, being that young for a team like Barcelona. You know what I mean? You don't have PK, you don't have Umtiti. Those are your two best center backs. It's just you alone with Digne, your left back, with two left backs and a right back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. With two left backs and a center mid.
Yeah, no. True story.
Am I wrong?
No. Sergio Roberto is a center mid.
So,
he's not a defender.
A lot of pressure on the guy, and he performed brilliantly. He played well. So you got to give it up to him. But I think when they're fit, they'll be able to do well, and I think they will play Iniesta. They will try Iniesta and Coutinho together once they have that back line fit and full, you know? And that's good because I really think they can do great together, especially with Dembele back. I think Dembele can be a little selfish. I think he needs to pass the ball around more, and he needs to calm down more. Today he was all over the place. He was slipping all over the place.
Jittery.
Was holding the ball a little longer than he should, you know? But
he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, but they really struggled. I guess the Getafe team that played fantastic.
Oh, they did.
They really did.
But they only had 20% possession.
They played defensive,
they had
fantastic
115
defense,
accurate passes to Barcelona's 681.
Yeah, but they did not allow the key players like Messi and Suarez to really do serious damage there. They held Messi pretty good. They either fouled him or took the ball from him almost every time. I mean, they did very well of keeping Messi pretty quiet during this game, you know? Yeah. They frustrated the hell out of the forwards in Barcelona, I think.
They had the same amount of shots. Now, listen to that. 115 passes that were accurate of Getafe's to Barcelona's 681.
And how much position?
They only had 20% possession.
20% possession.
But the same amount of shots as Barcelona.
You see, teams usually do stack up their defense against Barcelona and just all play defensively. But the Getafe really played well. I mean, look, they had the same amount of shots.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it was a deserved tie in my opinion. And, Barcelona really did struggle this game. They need to get it together, and I think they will. I mean, Atletico is right behind them, putting pressure on them, 7 points behind. They really need to keep winning.
Yeah.
But another team that's in good form again is Real Madrid, who played great against Real Sociedad. Defensively and goalkeeping was but forwards, great form. Ronaldo, hat trick, back in his form. The time you need them the most, you have PSG this week in the Champions League. So great. I mean, it's great for Real Madrid fans to have
at
that.
the Bernabeu.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be
it's gonna be a mouth-watering match.
It's going to be a good match. In my opinion, I think Real Madrid wins against PSG. They go through, but you never know. The football, you never know.
You don't.
You know. But I think this was the exact perfect warning to give PSG to be like, hey,
money can't buy.
don't
you
forget.
a trophy.
Don't forget our players. Don't forget. You know, like I know we've hit slump forms here and there, but don't forget what we have.
Right.
You know what we can do if we play well. Benzema was getting booed by a lot of his fans, which Ronaldo was. You see, Ronaldo was gesturing to the fans to stop booing Benzema. Which I mean, they should. I don't see. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to boo your player. He's going to come out next week like, I'm going to play her even better. You're going to kill his confidence even more. You know, you need to stand behind him. Chant his name a little bit. You know,
right?
Let him know you're
Give
behind
him.
him.
Courage.
Madrid fans have never been like that, though. I mean, they've always been known to boo their players a lot.
Right.
So that's sad to see. But I think against, I think if they can keep this form up again, they can do well. Ronaldo picking it up again, that's great to see for Real Madrid. You want to see the player that just won the Ballon d'Or scoring the goals that he does. I mean, you don't want to see someone win the Ballon d'Or and just go in complete horrible form, which he has been lately, you know? But it's good for him to pick it up, and what a timing, right before the Champions League. So be warned, PSG. Atletico Madrid, again, doing great to keep the pressure on Barcelona. I mean, it's still too early to tell for Barcelona to win. I mean, if they can tie a couple more games, then what? Atletico can win.
Yeah.
But more stuff that are going on. Atletico and Barcelona, speaking of those two. Griezmann, what do you think? Coutinho came out in an interview saying that, well, no, I got the number 14 because number 7 is getting saved for someone else that's coming this summer. And a few other players have dropped hints of a big signing this summer to take over that number 7. Who else could it be besides Griezmann? And where is he going to play? Is he going to be a replacement for Suarez? There's a lot of rumors of Suarez leaving.
That's what I think.
Do you really think they're going to get rid of Suarez next season? Because that's going to upset a lot of things up there as well. He's very close to Messi. Do you really want to...
I think that's what's going to happen.
Eventually, I think he's going to replace Suarez. But do you think it'll be this soon?
He's going to come in, and Suarez is going to come off the bench.
No, there's no way you're going to leave Suarez on the bench. He won't stay.
He will.
He won't stay. And I guarantee you Messi will have something to say about it either. Because Messi and Suarez are very close. You know?
Yeah.
And they link up very well. I don't know if they want to disrupt that. I think what they're going to do, I think Dembele is going to come off the bench. I think they're going to be like, okay, we'll give Suarez a year or two. Then we're going to try to ease him off. Mm-hmm. You know? But I don't see Suarez coming off the bench. I think if anyone comes off the bench, it's going to be Dembele. I think they're going to play Messi, Suarez, Griezmann. With Coutinho, Rakitic, Busquets, Umtiti, Piqué, Jordi Alba, and Semedo. Ter Stegen in goal. Imagine that. My goodness. Imagine that.
This summer
3 goal scorers. 3 goal scorers right up there.
2 left footers, 1 right footer.
And none of them are selfish. They all left to assist as well.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful assist.
Imagine that. And then you have Dembele coming in for Suarez, who you're kind of trying to ease out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? That's what I think is going to happen. Because let's be honest, Dembele is only, 20, 21 years old? Right?
Right.
They're promising him a future. They're telling him, hey, don't worry. In a few years, Suarez is leaving. Messi is going to be gone in a while. It's going to be you up there, Griezmann, and someone else. You know? So I think that's enough for Dembele to be like, okay, I'll be patient. Especially, he has no choice. He has a buyout clause that no one's gonna pay. Who's gonna pay his buyout clause?
No one.
So it makes sense. I think that's what's gonna happen in Barcelona. What do you think?
That's possible.
Wouldn't that be crazy though?
No.
Oh my goodness, that would be so exciting to see a squad like that. And then I think for Madrid, you'll have Neymar coming in, and then they're gonna build a team around Neymar.
Yep.
Fireworks! This is crazy. This is gonna be. Imagine what El Clásicos are gonna be like.
Insane.
Oh my goodness! I hope For all of our sakes, I hope I'm right. I don't even care if Neymar joins Madrid anymore. I just want to see an epic battle. This is going to be, if this happens, it will be definitely some of the toughest and biggest El Clasicos ever. Ever. In my opinion. I think. But anyways, La Liga, that's all that's going on there. And moving on to some Serie A. In Serie A over the weekend, we had Juventus beating Fiorentina 2-0. AC Milan beating Spal 4-0. Crotone beating Atalanta, or tying Atalanta 1-1. Napoli beating Lazio 4-1. Sassuolo tying Cagliari 0-0. Inter beating Bologna 2-1. Cheverano losing to Genoa 1-0. Sampdoria beating Hellas Verona 2-0. Torino beating Udinese 2-0. Roma beating Benevento 5-2. Table we have Napoli in first place with 63, Juventus in second with 62, Inter in third with 48, Roma in fourth with 47, Lazio in fifth with 46. Napoli and Juve. We've said this many times before, and that's the battle, and that's going to be the battle to the end of the season. Mm-hmm. No one else has a chance. Way too behind.
Oh, yeah.
Inter has finally won after 7 games of being pure shit.
Right.
As well as they were doing, But no Icardi, no problem. Their player that stepped in, their youngster that stepped in, got him the winner, won them the game, and kept them in the Champions League spot. But Juventus and Napoli, that's it.
That's all it's gonna be.
And I cannot wait. When do they play?
Who, Juventus and Tottenham?
Juventus and Napoli. When do they play again? Let's see.
It's April 22nd.
I cannot wait for them to play again. Because I honestly think it will be neck and neck till then. Napoli is in fantastic form.
Mm-hmm.
Juve is in fantastic form. These teams are neck and neck. 1 point. Juventus is finally getting a threat here. Juventus has already almost won the league by now.
Yeah, usually.
And now they're 1 point behind Napoli. They're chasing Napoli. Incredible. I love it. I love to see this. Serie A is just great this year. It really is, especially Juventus and Napoli. Watch these two teams, and I cannot wait for their games again. And against Tottenham, that's going to be a great match. Juventus against Tottenham as well. So I'm excited to see that. But that's pretty much all that's going on in Serie A. Not much going on. Juventus and Napoli are neck and neck.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm really curious to see what the transfer window is going to be like for Juventus especially. I think they might lose 1 or 2 key players.
Probably Dybala.
Dybala wants to go. And I don't think he really gets along with
I see him going to Madrid.
Allegri. Do you really see him going to Madrid? I think Icardi doesn't want to go, so I think Dybala will be your next.
I think
next
Madrid's going to do what they did 10 years ago. Cleaned house and
bring in all the superstars.
Brought in all.
You think they'll bring in Dybala, Neymar, and someone else?
Think about it.
I don't doubt it. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? What else are you going to do? What else can you do? You have no choice. Look at the other teams. They're buying all the young, hip-hop, whatever.
Yeah.
The best players. You have to keep up. Especially with the club that you are, Madrid is. So, yeah, Dybala might go to Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
It's a possibility. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Curious to see what's going on in the transfer window. Let's get into some Bundesliga. Over the weekend, we had Leipzig beating Augsburg 2-0. Dortmund beating Hamburg 2-0. Hoffenheim beating Mainz 4-2. Frankfurt beating Köln 4-2. Berlin beating Leverkusen 2-0. Hannover beating Freiburg 2-1. Bayern beating Schalke 2-1. Stuttgart beating Borussia Gladbach 1-0. And Bremen beating Wolfsburg 3-1. Table, we have Bayern in first with 56. Leipzig in second with 38. Dortmund in third with 37. Frankfurt in 4th with 36. Leverkusen in 5th with 35. And the next 5 or 6 teams are right there behind for that Champions League spot. So, pretty interesting. But the thing is, Bayern, what in the hell? Dortmund were in first place just like, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Now, Bayern are almost 20
Running
points.
away with it.
18 points ahead of the second place team.
Oh, my goodness.
It's not even fair anymore. Bayern already won. They already won the league. It's done. What else is there to say? It's done. It's finished.
It's ridiculous.
Last game, coach was out with a flu. No problem. Players still won the game. He sent a nice text message to the players congratulating them. But I mean, it's ridiculous, man. Like this Bayern team is way too strong, you know. And the thing is, with Bayern, any top player that comes up in the Bundesliga, they snap him up.
Oh man,
you know.
Real
so
quick.
They destroy anyone's chances of winning anything. So yeah, Bayern is finished with it. That's pretty much it. Let's before we move on to last and not least, League One. Lewandowski. What do you think? He's staying. He's going. He wants the Madrid move. I know he wants the Madrid move. Madrid want him. He wants the Madrid move.
You know,
you think he's going to be there next season?
The thing about it is, with Lewandowski, is his age. Yeah, he's in good form, but how long is that going to last?
Well, that's the thing. They might get a decent deal for him. You know, considering his age. And I mean, I don't know. He really wants to move too. And who knows? I mean, I don't know what his contract is, but if his buyout clause is not that cheap, I don't think Bayern will let him go. You know, he came out and said, "No, I'm happy here," but everyone says they're happy there until they go. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of talks about him, even last year, that he wants to go. The move is already on their way, and just I don't know. So I don't know. I'm curious to see if he's gonna stay at Bayern next season. I really am. I want him to stay at Bayern. I think he's a very good player for Bayern, and it'll be sad to see him go because you have Robin leaving, probably Ribery probably leaving soon. You know, Bayern's gonna need to start spending some serious cash up there.
They need to start doing something.
They really do, because I mean, yeah, they're gonna win probably every year in Bundesliga in the next maybe 5 years. You know, but Champions League is another story. Are you gonna be satisfied with only Bundesliga? Do you want Champions League win again?
Of course.
You know, this season might be one of the last seasons in a few years where they have a chance of winning. You know. You have an aging Ribery and an aging Robin who are getting injured left and right, and you really need to replace. It's not cheap these days to replace players, and Bayern are not known for, as a team, to splash the cash, you know.
But they have it.
They do have it for sure. How can they not? Biggest team in Germany, one of the biggest teams in the world. What's going on here?
They're just cheap.
Let's not be so greedy, you know. But anyways, last thing about Bayern, the Germany coach, Lowe, is rumored to be the next Bayern Munich coach.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear that.
What do you think? You think it might happen? Because the current coach, I don't think he wants to stay.
Who's going to coach Germany?
I don't know. They'll have enough time after the World Cup. They'll have some time to bring someone in. You know, most likely they'll bring in another German legend. They'll keep that computer system going, that computer mentality that destroys teams, and they'll do well again, you know? I mean, the thing is, as long, they keep the German coaches on the German team because of the system. They're already used to the system. They know the computer-style system, you know? So it's a lot easier to go along. They just keep it going. And they got a lot of great talent coming up in the youth.
They have great talent all on their team. Their style is...
Young players are promising as well.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens there. But I think Bayern are really tough this year. We'll get into that in a second. All right, last but not least, League One. That already belongs to PSG. Was there ever any doubt?
Monaco?
No, there's no way. There's no way. I'll put up anything. Anything. Over the weekend, we had Saint-Étienne tying Marseille 2-2. PSG beating Toulouse 1-0. Monaco beating Angers 4-0. Bordeaux beating Amiens 3-2. Dijon beating Nice 3-2. Guingamp tying Caen 0-0. Montpellier beating Metz 1-0. Strasbourg beating Troyes 2-1. Nantes tying Lille 2-2. Rennes beating Lyon 2-0. Table, we have PSG in first place with 65, Monaco in second with 53, Marseille in third with 52, Lyon in fourth with 48, Nantes in fifth with 38. I don't think anyone has a chance. PSG's won it. It's a done deal. I don't think Monaco even... PSG can lose next 3 matches, which I don't see even happening, and Monaco still not catch up. It's not going to happen. PSG is too strong. Look at the team they have, you know? The argument is can they win the Champions League, not the league. The league's done. All that stuff is done, and France is done. You know, and last game against Toulouse, they had a bunch of farmers protesting on the field. Did you hear about that?
No.
So it's like, come on, you know, there's no competition there. PSG is dominating. It's done. But Champions League is what I'm curious about, which we're gonna start talking about now. I mean, that's pretty much in League One. Oh, one more thing. Marcelo believes Neymar will join Real Madrid. He said it in an interview. Neymar will join Real Madrid, is what he said.
I called it in a few episodes ago.
And Thiago Silva saying he's not sure about Neymar's future. I knew he was going to go. There was no doubt about it.
There wasn't.
That was a brilliant
It was all
move.
part of the plan.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens. Doesn't even matter. We weren't surprised. We called it from the beginning. We knew. But it's pretty much in
True story.
League One. Let's get into some Champions League real quick before we finish up here. Champions League, we have some exciting games this week. We have the PSG and Real Madrid game. We have Juventus and Tottenham. We have Basel and Manchester City, Porto and Liverpool, Madrid and PSG.
Oof.
Big games this week.
Oof.
Big games this week.
I can't wait for that Madrid game.
That game is going to be huge. It's going to be at the Bernabeu. It's going to be at home for Madrid, who send a nice warning to PSG.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, Champions League it's all about Champions League. That's the most important thing you want to win. Mm-hmm. And this is the serious test for PSG. You know? Let's see what you can do. Messi's came out in an interview saying, I think our competitors are PSG and Manchester City. You know? If PSG beat Madrid, they can very well win the Champions League.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And that could be a final. Barcelona and PSG. A lot of drama there.
Mm-hmm.
Make a great final. I don't think they'll beat Madrid, in my opinion. I think Madrid will beat them. But you never know. With the players they have, you can never count them out. You know?
Right.
No matter what. So that's going to be a great match. Juventus and Tottenham, another great match. Two of the very similar teams, in my opinion. You know? And that's going to be another great match. These are matches this week. I think Porto and Liverpool will be another good match, but Liverpool should win the match. Man City and Basel against another good match, but Man City should definitely win these matches, you know? But good matches this week are going to be, in my opinion, the matches to watch for sure. Juventus, Tottenham, Real Madrid, and PSG.
Oh, yeah.
So
I agree.
Cannot wait for those, and that's going to be very exciting to do. That's pretty much it in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So,
can't wait for it.
In my opinion, who do you think are going to win this week? Right before we go.
Oh, man. All right. So my prediction is going to be Juventus is going to beat Tottenham 2-1. Then going to Man City and Basel. Man City just running all over them. At least 5-0. That's my prediction there. Porto and Liverpool, that's actually going to be a draw, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think Liverpool's going to be comfortable in their style.
I think Porto might win.
Actually might, now that I think about it.
But go ahead. Your last prediction?
Madrid and PSG, man.
Good predictions.
I would say Madrid over PSG 3-1.
Yeah.
Maybe even 4. Because PSG is the type of team, if you score on them, you can break them down.
Yeah. I mean, they're not that great defensively either, but neither is Madrid at the moment. It's going to be battle of the forwards, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right. I think Juventus and Tottenham are going to tie. I think Man City will win. I think Porto will win. I think Madrid will win. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
It's going to be exciting matches. Don't miss it. If you haven't subscribed to our show, please do so on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. Follow us. And if you haven't on social media, do follow us. We have giveaways and all types of cool stuff. Instagram, Futlife TV on Facebook, and Futlife TV 1 on Twitter. And subscribe. That's pretty much it. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, Ari, for joining us again.
Thank you.
And we will see you all next time. Bye.